Now, celebrating all things cool in Jacksonville, a local show with a spotlight on the 904 with hosts Eden Kendall and Mark Payton, featuring amazing stories from every neighborhood with Rance Adams. This is River City Live.
Good morning and welcome to River City Live. We have so much company over today. It's going to be a lot of fun, but weirdness is afoot. I don't know if you guys have had this happen to you, but have you had the weirdness happen with your phone where you're trying to text letters? What did you think I meant?
I had no idea.
I didn't either. I'm like, we're talking about what's coming up in the show, because it's not that weird. It's kind of par for the course with our show.
I want to tell you all about what's coming up in the show, but I also want to ask you if you've had this experience that I have been having with your phone when you try to write the letter I and you get some kind of wacky symbol. You have not had that happen?
Nope.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
It's a big deal.
Right here, you could see an example of what's happening.
Yeah, I feel like this has been a big deal because I keep getting texts from other people and it keeps happening to me, and it's been like celebrities are tweeting about it. So once a celebrity starts to tweet about it, then it is really important.
It's real. No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah. You haven't really?
No, it's all over, and people are going crazy about it. Yeah.
When did this start?
What do you do for a living? Where are you? This is everywhere.
Rance roams the city, so I miss a few things here and there.
I thought this was so important. I thought we should have come on even earlier and broke in to talk about this. But you know, there is a fix for it. So if you go online and just Google, you should find the fix. But it's pretty easy. You do have to go into your settings and go to General. And go to your keyboard and then go to text. See how easy it is? And then you have to tap the plus, and then you have to tap the I, and then you have to make a shortcut and make it an I. But
Wait, let's bring it back. Come rewind.
Okay.
So if you hit the I button, it does what?
Gives you an A and then that little question mark in a square. So when you get messages, just like that on your screen.
So that's what happens when you're trying to type an I.
See, I tried to, well, actually, you guys did mention this morning, and I tried to type an I, and I'm like, I got I.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it works fine for me, but...
well, that happens with the 2009 BlackBerry.
Yeah.
It's foolproof when it comes to that kind of stuff. There's no glitches because there's no updates.
I'm still on that razor, man. Come on.
You're going to wait until it really is back. He's like, I never left it.
You know what's sad? When it comes to like all these type of computer problems, I just give it to my 7-year-old. And then he looks at it here.
Here's the only difference between giving it to your 7-year-old and your 17-year-old is the eye roll. They both can fix it, but the 17-year-old is like, ah.
Take your time.
My 7-year-old doesn't even make eye contact.
Right.
I'll take an eye roll, acknowledging that I'm there. Just like.
Is he into something? He's like, yeah, Dad.
Seriously.
There you go. Do you ever?
Don't bother me again with this.
So when they do fix your tech, do you ask like what they did, or do you just like, okay, thank you, keep it moving?
I won't get an explanation, and if I do, it's too wordy and I don't understand it.
Well, with the college boy, the explanation, you're like, don't tell me because I'm sure it's not legal, whatever you did. Like when people first started doing jailbreaks and all of this, he kept always asking me, want me to do this for your phone? Want me to do this to our TV? And I was always like, I don't know. Is it going to be something I'm going to read about later that there's a class action thing, or
just don't put it in writing.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, do I want it? And then you just turn away.
Now I'm just like, well, will this affect my warranty? It will. All right, please don't do this.
Well, after 2 years, your warranty's already a bust, so you know we don't condone it, but we understand.
That's true.
That's typical teen thing, addicted to this smartphone.
Yeah, and
par for the course.
Really, everybody's addicted to a smartphone. There is a study out that 70% of all adult Americans have some type of smartphone device. That's crazy. That's just about everybody. And with teens, it's affecting their sleep. 40% of all teens are getting less sleep because of their cell phone addiction. So they're up at night texting or doing whatever they do, and they're not getting the proper sleep because, again, it goes back to the nomophobia, cell phone addiction. And I feel like we all have it, but now it's starting to, really trickle down into the younger kids where it's becoming a major problem. For us, like I know if I leave my house and I don't have my cell phone, you just get that uneasy feeling, I will go back and get it, even if I don't necessarily need it, but I feel like I have to have it. But do you guys have that where you actually feel like addicted to the device?
Not an addiction. I do understand and have the feeling when I don't have it. Like the other day I was out on a shoot and I pack up and I'm literally just getting in and I'm like, something's not right, and then the freak out because everything is in there.
It's your life, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what about you? Is it affecting your sleep? Like Eden, does it affect your sleep? Because again, it's showing up with kids. It does with mine because it's always next to me.
It does affect my sleep in that I go to sleep later, maybe even by a half hour or so, because I'll think I'm giving it one last look through before I go to sleep, and I'm setting my alarm, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me just see what's going on here, and the next thing you know, I'm binge watching an entire season on Netflix.
Or it's like a buzz, like you'll hear like the little vibrate, because I'll have the other sounds off, and then it might just be something in like in a Facebook feed or whatever, and then if you hit that, then it launches a whole nother animal while you're up, because then you decide to get caught up on social media or whatever. But that's what happens to me, it's like a trigger.
Once I put it down, it stays down.
You are good at that.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, I'm shutting it down. I'm watching my other electronic devices, which is usually some trash TV.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up, because the other electronic devices are getting crazy too. In fact, now more and more people are cutting the cord, but it doesn't mean they're doing less watching of anything. It's just they're not doing it through the original carriers.
Yep, through standard, I guess you get, because back in the day we used to get everything over the air through antennas. Now it's like cable, satellite. But the younger generation and a lot of us in our age are cutting that cord and finding other ways to get our entertainment. A lot of it includes Netflix. I think DirecTV now has an offset where you can stream stuff. So a lot of people are doing online with their viewing and things like that. And so it's saving a lot of money. It's causing like AT&T and Verizon or Comcast and all of them, they're starting to get a little nervous, but there's so many options that you can use for your viewing pleasure that, you know.
I'd say there's panic.
There is, you know, we covered this story over the summer, and they had projections of where they thought it was going to be as far as the numbers are concerned. Well, the Q3 numbers came out for the top 5 cable distributors, and there was 1 million people, 1 million households that cut the cord, so no longer have cable straight to their TV. And it was a lot more than they originally anticipated for. So people are dropping like flies. And like you said, they do have other alternatives. So you have like AT&T bought DirecTV, and now DirecTV has a small little package, but they're not making really any money on that. So that's the thing, is like they're trying to figure out, well, how do we stay in households, but they don't have the right formula yet, you know, so that's a big problem.
But what I think we're seeing, though, you said they're nervous. I think it's like that whole duck thing. They're nervous, but underneath the water, they're just really, really nervous. Because you can't lose 1 million people on something that's kind of hard to figure out how to do and not think that they're all going to explain it to the next 5 people. You know what I mean? There's got to be that first wave of people brave enough to do it, and then everybody else is going to follow right along. I'm not brave enough to cut the cord yet.
Well, you know, it's interesting, too. We were talking about this earlier, and I feel like our producer, Justin, was saying that he thinks like he sees a pattern with age, and I totally see this, too. So, like, my younger brothers and sisters are totally, they're off the grid in a lot of ways, but when it comes to TV, and then like myself, I'm a little, I still have a landline. You know what I mean? So when it comes to it, so like I leverage old technology and new technology. You know?
Finding a balance. But it's like people from our generation and maybe just like a little younger, it's like the new technology is a little much. And we can't wrap our mind around like some of the ways that you have to get your TV. But I mean, the younger generation is like, do that. Like you said, like, oh, I know how to do this, that, and whatever.
And it's, I think, a combination too of cost, and then the other thing too, just like your methods of how you watch TV. A lot of times, people, they're not waiting around for a program to become live. You know what I mean? So they'll just watch it in a DVR or just pick it up digitally when it's on the internet later. Now, I feel like our show is perfect live.
For everybody. You wouldn't want to miss it. But you could DVR it if you needed. Do you remember what did I say? What did I say once? I said VCR just by accident. Do you remember? My mind slipped, and instead of DVR, I said VCR, and like everybody in the room got quiet, and I said, it was really a thing. There is such a thing as a VCR.
I like, she makes up things and she tries to convince them that they really exist.
No, there really was. It was. There was once a thing called a VCR. I'm kidding.
Was there a thing called Blockbuster when there was like these movie titles or something like that? I don't know. Oh, well, was that a thing?
Well, if you're not careful, the cord could get cut for you regardless.
So in Australia, they have a problem, and it's not with millennials cutting the cord, it's with a bird, the cockatoo. So basically, they just had this new infrastructure, $36 billion of a broadband network, and cockatoos are cutting the cord for everybody. It costs so far about $61,000 right now to repair what they're doing, and it's only going to get worse. For some reason, they're just drawn to whatever it's made out of. There's like a metal part in there, and they're cutting the cord for them.
Maybe they want more attention from their from the humans.
Yeah, maybe,
It's kind of like
that's what it is. So we don't have that problem stateside.
Yeah, we don't.